know, we're speaking about God's providence. But I don't know about you, but I know for myself, there was a time that I was really fighting His providence. When I was a little girl, I always wanted to be married and have a large family. My mother used to say that I was going to be the one to give her 6 children, 9 children. And I remember in high school, I had an English assignment, and it was something to do with the future of our life. And I remember looking out the window, and I seemed to understand that God was somehow telling me that my future was going to be just a little bit different, that it was going to be very special, but unique to me, but it would be different and maybe not what I expected. Well, I had gotten married, and then I got divorced, and I had my marriage annulled, and then I remarried. I remarried in the church, and I had a child from my first marriage, but I wanted other children, and it just wasn't happening for me. And I was praying, asking God for other children, and I thought it was a very good prayer, something that God and I would be united in together, that what I wanted would be something that He wanted, because what I wanted was a good thing. I wanted brothers and sisters for my daughter. I wanted her to have the security of that, the love of that. I wanted her to know, what I have in a brother. And it was very painful when this wasn't happening. And I was telling God, do you understand? I don't have a lot of time, right? We try negotiating with God. We try informing God as if God doesn't know. And I was getting very upset. And then I was grieving because time was passing and this was not happening. And when I was grieving it, I was really missing out on the here and now. And in the midst of all of that, I had started this ministry with my brother. I joined with him. He had already established it. And I joined in with him. And my mother used to tell me, Laurie, God has a plan for you. And I would say, yeah, Ma, yeah. But I was so focused on what my dream was and what I wanted that I wasn't really living to the fullest in what God wanted. And then I received a reading. And the reading was that God would give me a new desire of my heart. And then I started saying, okay, Lord, I'm open to that because I'm just miserable. I'm miserable because I'm not getting what I want, and the time is going to be over for me. So go ahead, give me this new desire in my heart. And then I'd be praying, and then I'd say, well, when am I going to get this new desire in my heart? Maybe tomorrow. And do you know what? I finally realized what God had in plan for me. And it was to do this ministry with my brother. Because God knew if I was a new mother, a young mother, I would have never done this with my brother. Motherhood would have taken priority with me, no doubt. I would have never done this. God wanted me to do this. And in the early years of us doing this together afterwards, because my brother knew what was in my heart, he'd say to me, Laurie, look at all your children. God has given you many children because you're doing what a mother does, and you teach your children and bring your children closer to God. And I would say, yes, but I wasn't really feeling it. And it took some time for me to see. And then when I saw, I regretted all the time I wasted, not trusting God, not really living in the presence of His providential care, not knowing that I was really living the fullness of my life that God gave to me. And I was just wasting that time. And I lost time. Being sad in my heart, I lost time. How many of us do the same thing? We think we know what we want.